It's a good day in SimWorld, everybody. Welcome to SimWorld today. I am B-Ron alongside my man Siege. And Siege, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great this fine Wednesday morning. Had some great action last night. Ready to just kind of jump right in. We're coming up on the race to one. It's all coming up to what we've all been waiting for. So I mean, let's talk about it, Biron.
Yeah, sure. Let's get right into it, shall we? So yesterday in our first 8 o'clock game in the morning, we saw SimWorld South America beat the H-Town Hoopers 62-56. And then in our ESPN game, that was at 10, we saw SimWorld South America, SimWorld Africa, my apologies, beat SimWorld Europe 75-67. And in that one, it was Ajifek Benley had the big day, 17 points, but Amar Afua right behind him, 16 points in the game. And Abraham Kasongo, 10 rebounds in their win over Europe.
Yeah, I was tuned into that one, and I could tell Coach Mack was frustrated on the sideline. Europe just really wasn't able to hit their shots. They weren't hitting. It was just one of those games where things didn't really go their way. And props to SimWorld Africa for capitalizing on that and taking that win.
Absolutely. And then out there on the boat in SimWorld Oceania beat Best Coast Baller 79-64, and the new record was set in the process. Richard Hennessy set the new rebound record in their win, grabbing 20 boards. He had 10 points, 20 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks in that game. Huge game for Oceania over Best Coast.
Yeah, I mean, Hennessy, props to him. I mean, we've been waiting for him to kind of break out like this. I mean, the size that he has, he's got good movement for a guy his size too. And what I'll say is, of those 20 rebounds, 7 of them were offensive rebounds. That being said, as a team total, Best Coast Ballers put up 7 offensive rebounds and 31 total rebounds. So Richard Hennessy really just kind of dominated the entire glass on both sides.
He really did. And really quickly on the other side, Leif Outlaw, one of only 2 players for Best Coast to finish in double figures. He led the way with 20 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds of his own, and shot 40% from the field. When you talk about player of the year, that has to come into consideration some for some people, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest game to have right as we're coming down to the conversation. You got to kind of look at it as a total body of work at the end of the day. Bad game. It is what it is. Does it hurt his chances? It certainly could. He put up decent enough numbers, and he still was kind of the leader of that team in this game. He wasn't deferring to anybody. He was making his thing, but it definitely has to be taken into consideration.
Absolutely. We also saw the North beat Philadelphia 87-80 in a thrilling game. Donovan Bird Culver, 26 points for the North, leading the way for them. Alex Rodriguez, Marcus Lifat, 13 points for Lifat, 12 for Rodriguez. And then on the other side for Philadelphia, they had 4 players finish in double figures. One of them being leading scorer, Nas Hall, was 18 points.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really great team effort from Philadelphia, but the North were on their game yesterday, and they looked really good. And we know this about the North; they love to kind of play spoiler. Their season's been over for a while. I mean,
yeah.
Their season's been over for a while, but they play hard, and they've given some really good teams some trouble. Philadelphia, their record doesn't suggest that they're one of the really good teams in the league, but they have been at many points in the year. And so the North just came in, did their thing. They don't care who they're playing. They're going to put up a fight and try to play spoiler regardless.
Absolutely. Also, one thing to add in that one, Jermaine Owens, double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds in their loss, unfortunately. And then moving on to the night game last night between Bad Boys and Beasts of the East. Beasts of the East, they dominated them, really, 71-58 in a strong performance from them. Freed Redmond leading the way, 16 points. And Kamarian Goodyear, 12 points, had a really great night last night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really great showing from Beasts of the East. Bad Boys has been surging lately. They look really good. I think they still look good going into the playoffs, into the race to one. They've got a lot of things going right for them. Boggs put up 19 points, 5 assists. I think waiting for Samuel Boggs to break out as more of a scorer as well as the facilitator that he is going to be really helpful for them. come race to one, come tough matchups. If Lorenzo Phenom can't get it going, which by the way, he had it going just fine last night, putting up 18 and 10, which I just want to shout out Coach Jackson, Coach Sonny Jackson of Bad Boys. When asked about the battle between him and Levin Cutler, he said that he wasn't worried about the battle. He was worried about the matchup, but wasn't worried about the battle. He said Lorenzo Phenom clears Levin Cutler. No argument. And look, Levin Cutler got the win, but I will say that he did outperform him by a good margin. Levin Cutler was not able to stop Phenom in the post.
Just on a numbers basis, yeah, Levin Cutler, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block. And again, Phenom, double-double. So, yeah, that's a clear winner there in terms of performance-wise.
I would say so.
And then that actually brings us nicely into our Game of the Week segment here, Siege. We had a really good one last night. Rocky Mountain and Yacht Club billed as the SimWorld Hoops Game of the Week, and it lived up to it. 86-81. We were on the call for that one, and Rocky Mountain barely survived. Yacht Club was a thrilling game, came down to the wire. Not a lot of defense being played in that one. It was so fun, so fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it started off hot. We were calling it a barn burner from the very beginning. Teams were scoring. The defense wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but both teams were just hitting their shots, and both teams were moving the ball incredibly well. We're looking at a 21 total assists from the Yacht Club over the game, 28 from the Rocky Mountain Monsters. I mean, everyone was contributing to moving the ball, free-flowing offense. It looked really good to watch. Dominic Bianco did his thing, 21 points, a handful of dunks. Thinking back to it, I don't know if I remember a bucket of his that wasn't a dunk, although I'm sure he had a couple.
He had one or two, yeah.
one or two, but it seems like he was putting everything down. But Yacht Club still looked really good. I think what they proved in this game, even in a loss, is they can run with anybody. And Rocky Mountain is being billed by a lot of people as the best team in the league right now. The Yacht Club and the highest scoring team in the league statistically. So we're looking at a Yacht Club team who can get out, they can run, they can do it well. They've been hot recently. I think because of how good of a game it was, they don't lose too much momentum.
Yeah, that makes sense. Justin Bell led the way for Rocky Mountain, 23 points. And then you had Kenneth Gaffney, 13. Daquan McDougal, 12. And Lucas Banks with 11. He also dished out 6 assists as well, leading the team in that category as well. Really productive game from him. Then that's the thing about Rocky Mountain. They're dangerous when they play a team game like that, and it worked in their favor, getting the win.
Yeah, absolutely. And early, it really looked like Yacht Club style of play. They were getting out running. They were doing their thing, and Rocky Mountain was able to weather the storm. Rocky Mountain did get out to a good, decent 8-9 point lead. Yacht Club came storming back. They even took the lead late in the game, 69-68. But Rocky Mountain was able to overcome that, and in the final moments played some good defense. Hit their free throws, which you know what I say about free throws, B-Ron, they're free. And they took those free throws, they took those free points, and because of that, they were able to win the game.
Absolutely. And, we have I see in my notes here, Siege, that you have a surprise here for me.
Oh, I've been working on this one for you, B-Ron, and for the fans. I think everyone's going to enjoy this one. So, you see it in the NBA sphere all the time. You even see it in some other sports. The beloved start, bench, cut question, where you take 3 players and you got to choose to start one, bench one, and cut one from your team. And so I'm just going to put some parameters out there. We're not starting a franchise. We're talking about 1 year in SimWorld Hoops. I'm going to give you 3 guys. You got to start one, bench one, cut one. I'm giving you 30. I'll give you some grace period of about 40 seconds to give your picks and give a quick explanation, but don't want to draw it out too much. I want your honest, quick, off top of your head reaction. So let's get started with that. First one, this one was easy, cherry picking. It's a question that gets talked about most of the time anyways. LDO, Bronny, DJ Wagner.
Ooh, tough. Slim pickings. So I'm going to start Bronny, bench DJ, and cut Darius. I hate it.
Do you feel the need to explain your picks on that one, or are you're solid on that?
I will not be explaining anything in this section.
On to the next. If you feel you need to give an explanation on one, go ahead. If not, we can move on to the next.
Absolutely,
next one, yeah. I like this one, but this one was tough for me. Trey Hyman, Lorenzo Phenom, and Arthur Lattimore.
Ooh, yeah, that is tough. I'll start. I'll start Lattimore. I'm gonna start Lattimore. Going to bench Hyman, and then pay me to say I'm gonna cut Phenom.
All right, that was what I had too. So I'll agree with you on that one there. So moving on, we got an interesting one here. Mackenzie Mbako, Trey Turner, and Japheth Towns.
Start Turner, bench Mbako, and cut Towns.
Oh, okay. See, I struggle with this because I'm one of the biggest Mbako supporters out there. But I think for one year I took start Turner and I benched Japheth Towns because he doesn't get a lot of time. But you can't go wrong with Mbako. Like I said, I think he's one of, if not the best prospects for the future in the league. So mad respect for the Mbako choice. Next one, this one's a little tricky. Benari James, Cole Webb, and Nas Hall.
Oh, yeah, it is tricky. Man, those kids could score too. Okay. You said it was Webb, Hall, and Benari?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to start Benari. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Start Benari, bench Cole, and cut Nas. I hate that I have to do this to all
Ooh.
these kids. I hate this so much. So
I
difficult.
I actually love it because Cole Webb, I don't think gets his shine enough. So I love that we're giving him his respects there. Um, Obviously you don't want to cut any of them. So
No.
that's a tough one. Benari for me was my starter as well because it's the way that he can facilitate and his ball handling and everything that I think he puts him over him a little bit. So this
Yep.
next one I've got for you. It's a little mix of styles of plays from players, so it's not as clear cut just who we think's better. It's what do you want for your team. We got Levin Cutler, Nick Hugo, and Victorious Ilgauskas.
I'm gonna start Hugo, bench Cutler, and cut Ilgauskas.
Yeah, that's about what I had too. It was painful. I'm a big Ilgauskas fan, but I think I agree with you there. All right, this one's a juicy one to me, anyways. Let's see what you think. Fareed Redmond, Justin Bell, and Caden Ship.
I'm going to start Caden, cut Redmond, and bench Bell.
Okay, okay. All right. I honestly didn't even consider Caden at the starting spot, so I love that outlook. He's a great leader, so I kind of love that pick actually. All right. This last one, B-Ron,
All
defense. I
right.
know we both love a great defensive player, so I'm
Yeah.
going to give you three of the grimiest lockdown perimeter guys in our league: Renzo Bryant, Gabe Pope, and Isaiah James.
Ooh, that is tough. Yeah. Start Pope, bench Bryant, and cut Isaiah James. That's tough, but
I mean that's a
that's
tough.
so
They're
tough.
they're all great
Yeah,
defenders and they're all outspoken leaders on the defensive side. I think that's what makes it
absolutely.
the most tough for me. If we had one of them that was a great defender but wasn't so outspoken, like talking on defense, it would make it a little bit easier choice for me. I'm gonna put it out there right now, Renzo. You got me last time for not putting you on the most underappreciated players. You're my starter here, and that's all I'm gonna disclose. But I'll tell you what. Think I agree with you. I'm going to have to cut Isaiah just because I love that team defense. Gabe Pope, I don't know actually, because Gabe Pope is a phenomenal defender, but I think the thing is he's set up in a really great team defense. That's no slight to him, but I'm going Renzo. I think I'm going to bench Isaiah and I'm going to cut Gabe as much as it pains me because he's one of the best guys that I know. But I think that's what I got to do here.
Understandable. Understandable. And for the record, there is no ill will for anybody who I decided to cut or bench on this list. So don't come at me, y'all. Please don't.
No ill will here. We're just playing a game. Come on.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Well, that's
Exactly.
that's what I have for you today. That's our start bench cut segment.
Okay. All right. I like that. We should do that more often. I appreciate that. Was fun. That was fun. So let's get into our slumping and surging segment here, Siege. We've got race to one coming up, as we know. So, which team to you has been surprising that has been slumping or surging?
So for me, and I'm gonna talk about for the slump for me, it's the originators. Um,
They're mine
I
too.
don't, I don't. The thing is, like, it's surprising in the sense they've been so dominant. But I think what's not surprising is the difficulty they're having getting out of the slump. To me, um, because they hadn't faced a lot of that. I know they had a lost streak a while back, but they didn't face a whole lot of adversity this season. They've been very dominant. So I think with what's being exploited on their defensive side, teams are figuring out how to get around Ilgauskas and how to kind of take him out of the defensive side. It's not surprising to me that they're struggling to get out of it. Now, hopefully, they can figure that out and be ready for the race to one. But that, to me, it's most surprising that they started this slump.
Okay, and are the OGs your slump team that's the most concerning as well? Because they're mine.
Honestly, for me, the most concerning, and I don't know at this point if this is concerning because I feel like most people will probably say their chances in the race are gone anyways. But Lone Star basketball, I don't know what's going on there. I don't
Okay.
know what's going on with Lone Star. At least with the OG slump, it's like you can pick out what's going wrong. You can pick out what teams are doing to pick them apart, things like that, and you can try to fix it with Lone Star. I don't know. They've still got the same roster. They've got great defenders. They've got two great scorers in Nene Gibson and Jace McGaz, and for some reason, it's just like it's almost like it's just falling apart. And for me, that's why that's the most concerning because when you don't know what the problem is, it's that much harder to fix.
And the OGs me is concerned just because they've been so good all year, and now isn't the time to have a losing streak.
Yeah.
But which surging team can continue to play like they have been? Do you think, Siege? Because my pick is Gotham 5. They've been on fire for the past few months now, and I think that they're in a really really good spot. How about you?
So I do like Gotham Five. For me though, I'm going due to a lot of people thinking they wouldn't even be able to make the race. Um, Continuing playing like they have been, SimWorld Asia Pacific. I
Okay,
really like them. I don't know if you would call what they're doing a surge because they're not doing it super flashy. Although that game winner over Bay Area was incredibly flashy, but
certainly made some noise.
the reason I think they can keep doing what they're doing is they're a disciplined team. And I've said this before, but they've got Swiss Army knife type players at a lot of positions. Uh, the Jacoby Reyes can do it all at the guard position. Kai Newby, elite scorer, great leader. Stephen George as the anchor of that defense. They've got a lot of stuff that I just see they know what they're doing, and they even got a guy like Victor Soto coming off the
Yeah,
bench. Great Khalid comes
absolutely.
in, and he adds a lot at times. They've just got a lot of guys who can kind of do a lot of things: rebound, defend, score. And because of that, that makes them a really dangerous team.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of being dangerous, dangerous teams here, race to one's coming up as we know, Siege, and let's give a quick preview for things that we're looking forward to, first round matchups that we're excited for, that kind of thing. Let's go quickly go over it.
Yeah, so the first round matchup, and I think everyone's already got their eyes on this. We're looking at a probable Beast of the East Run DMV rivalry matchup in the first round. Now that to me, one, anytime there's a rivalry game, you're excited to see it. You're
Yeah,
excited to see just the passion. You're excited to see the hate's a strong word, but that competitive nature that you've seen these guys before. You don't like them, and you're both trying to get somewhere, and there's who's standing in the way. I think that's going to be a fiery game.
yeah, absolutely, and that's mine too, just because it's very reminiscent of the to make a comparison to a different sport, the Ravens Steelers rivalry, in that
Oh,
respect, in terms of how intense that game can be. I think that the Beast of the East Run DMV game will have a basketball-like intensity for comparison's sake.
yeah, I would agree. Another one that I kind of want to highlight just real quick.
Yep.
Right now, as it lines up, we've got Beyond the Arch taking on the Originators. I'm really intrigued in that, but not because here's the thing for me. What Beyond the Arch does so well, Tyson Simpson dominates the paint. But what teams have been doing to be able to beat the Originators has been kind of pulling Victorious out of the paint or using smaller lineups, things like that. So what
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering is are they going to limit what Tyson Simpson is good at to neutralize that, or are they going to go right at him? Because, I mean, let's be real, Tyson Simpson is not a guy who can be stopped by one guy, even a great defender like Victorious. So that's not what I'm worried about, but it's the cutting, it's the other players keeping Victorious in the paint. I don't know. It's very interesting to me. I think that matchup could be really interesting, and I think it could be what the Originators need to kind of get back on track, but I'm not counting out Tyson Simpson at all in this matchup.
I don't think you can, honestly. Don't think you can. So let's give our favorite fours. Top 4 teams to make it into that final stage. Who do you think it's gonna be? I'll let you go first. I'll give mine afterwards.
So I'm not going to do, if you look at the bracket, I'm just going to give you my 4 favorites who I think have the best chance. I'm going Gotham 5, Southeast Select. I'm going Best Coast Ballers, actually, which I know a lot of people are going to, they only got Lace Darius, but they're there for me. And then I'm going Beast of the East.
Okay.
And what about you, D-Ron? What you got?
I'm going to take Rocky Mountain. I'm going to take Gotham. And I'm going to take Southeast. And I'm going to take Bay Area.
Okay. I like the Bay Area pick. I think they got a lot of depth.
Yep. And then my team to win it all, I'm going to take Rocky Mountain. All
right. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'll put my stamp on it, the Siege stamp. We talk about it a lot. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. Southeast Select has both of those things. They got Trey Turner, who's an elite player all around, and then their defense is just stifling. They're my official pick to win it all. I think they run the table. That's what we got.
It's a good pick. Yeah. What are your picks for the race to 1? Let us know. Let us know what you thought about everything else here in today's show. Start, bench, cut, all that fun stuff. Until next time, you guys. We'll see you in the next one. And you know what it is. SimWorld's the only place where you can see the game and be the game. Have a good one, folks.